Melvin Gordon, another Charger or former Charger here. He's going to sign with the Denver Broncos. I was a little surprised on this one because they still have Royce Freeman. I think they got rid of Devin Booker.
Yeah, they yeah.
But Philip Lindsay's kind of been the guy over there.
Devontae Booker.
Is it Devin Booker?
Devontae.
Devin Booker's out here shooting.
Oh, you're right.
shooting
Devin
triples.
Booker's from the Phoenix Suns. Sorry.
Although he probably would be a good burner receiver, I'm sure. But
Sure.
Fast?
So
maybe
yeah,
a running back.
Melvin Gordon signs with the Broncos. You got a nice little 1-2 combo here with Philip Lindsay. I mean, me personally, they could have the best 1-2 punch in the entire NFL right now, but I'm not sure how confident I feel in the workload for each of these guys. I mean, what's your guys' standpoint on this? Are you favoring one guy more than the other?
I think Lindsey might be a better pure running back at this point.
Yeah.
But does that mean the team's going to give that to him? That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So, and then you still have Royce Freeman. Is it going to be is he just going to go away, or is he going to take away 20%, 10% of the team's carries? Because now that just makes it more on a week to week. That just makes it where you're going to have to like guess. It honestly might be somewhat of a guessing game on a week to week. We're sitting here, whoever gets the touchdowns is the better player.
Yeah.
I know Philip Lindsay wasn't that much of a pass catcher last year, but he does show pass catching ability. I know Royce Freeman was actually more involved. So I'm probably staying away from Gordon because his price tag is going to be too high. And if I'm taking a chance on one, it's Lindsay. But I'm probably away from this backfield.
Yeah.
Just early on because I think the price tags are going to be too high. It's going to be a committee. This isn't a top 5 scoring offense. Probably not even top 15. Maybe not top 20. So now you're looking at a bottom 10 offense with 3 running backs that could touch the ball. You could say 2 take majority, but 1 could be annoying. I just don't.
But dude, their new quarterback, what, Drew?
Drew Lock was out there.
He was out there, and he was like, he was looking good.
So do you think he puts them in a top 15 offense?
No, but
That's where if you need multiple running
for
backs
sure.
to succeed, they have to be a higher scoring offense.
all right, check this out, because I'm the same way too. I'm probably staying away from this backfield, but like, what would you do? Like, say Royce Freeman is
They should
no
trade
longer
him.
there. Yeah, if they traded Royce Freeman, how would you look at it? Would you look at it the same way, like you still don't know? Because if he left, I still would think the same thing. Like, I'm still not sure.
I'm still probably not going to touch that backfield for the
But-
prices. They're
Right,
going to
or
go
Philip Lindsay, or I don't know if he left too.
I would
just curious.
take Gordon.
Yeah. But really, you were just showing us some stats off before we started recording
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Lindsay was the better running back.
He was
last
more.
year,
Yeah, he
though.
was more elusive, and he was just better for sure. But I think that last year with Melvin Gordon sitting out and the Chargers O line being bad and him really not ever hitting his stride, I just think back of Melvin Gordon from 2 years ago, and he was a first round fantasy draft. Like, dude, it's not like he sucks. I mean, he did show like signs where he was kind of like falling off, but like I said, it could have been rust. Now he has a whole off season. I mean, now he's on a new team, but I think Philip Lindsay might be like he'll get his work between the 20s, like his catches. But I think once he gets into the red zone, I mean, Melvin Gordon's a bigger guy and he's proven like he's done it. I think just some people are forgetting how good Melvin Gordon was when he was on the Chargers when he played a whole season.
He was like volume because I'm
Yeah.
playing a little bit of devil's
Yeah, and
advocate.
he could catch,
Playing
yeah,
a little
no,
bit
for
of devil's advocate because this is kind of somewhat just a thought. Is he was a volume dependent good running back. He was getting the red zone touches. He was getting the carries. He was getting 270 carries.
he's a
and
workhorse.
70. But if you look at his efficiency, he wasn't a very efficient running back for 4 of those 5 years. He was like 3.6 yards per carry. You have even the passing game. It wasn't like a high yards per catch. So you can argue that he wasn't efficient for
For sure, he even scored a touchdown his rookie year. So
You could argue that he wasn't on a per touch basis very efficient. And if so, was that with just a 1 year fluke with the system, or was it he's in Denver now, so it's a completely different system, and he's I don't know. Like I said, I'm just playing a little bit of devil's advocate
no,
where
for
it's like
sure.
he wasn't.
No, I know
that,
people that like
he
Philip
wasn't.
Lindsay.
He wasn't that efficient as a runner for 4 of those 5 years, and he's been banged up multiple years.
For sure.
So I just really quick because people are commenting. We got Lindsay. Someone said Lindsay is more reliable, can do it all. Gordon is fumble machine and majority of production is catching out of the backfield. And then Nico thinks that Gordon is going to vulture touchdowns and Lindsay will get more carries and catches. What do you guys think?
I mean, he might get more. Yeah, he might get more catches. I mean, it depends.
I think that's
he's,
probably true.
He's probably going to be their third down back, but if at the beginning of the year you see, I mean, they're both going to both be good, but I just feel like Melvin Gordon will probably take the touchdowns. Yeah, like inside the 5, you're probably going to give it to Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Right.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like we saw last year with the Philip Lindsay and the Royce Freeman ordeal. I mean, if you look at the snaps, it was literally like a 50-50,
Yeah, it was almost 50-50.
workload here. And even Royce Freeman was getting a little bit more targets out of the backfield, which is surprising because you'd think of Lindsey as a smaller kind of scat back, but Royce Freeman, the bigger back, was getting more work here. But one thing I could just say is kind of just like off the top of my head I was thinking about is, Melvin Gordon, he holds out last year. He's trying to get paid over $10 million a year. They obviously don't give it to him, so he sits out. But it's kind of ironic. You think that now Eckler, they paid him, they gave him a contract extension, and he's making like $6 to $7 million a year. Melvin Gordon signs with the Denver Broncos. I think he's making like $8 million a year. So it's almost like the Chargers valued Eckler at like $7 million a year more than they valued Gordon at $8 million a year. So they were willing to like, oh yeah, we'll pay $1 million less for this running back than you. So
sure.
It just kind of shows you that like they didn't really value him as like that workhorse, like that top tier, like a Gurley, or in a sense, or like the Zeeks, those guys, obviously you're gonna get McCaffrey, Saquon, these guys, they're gonna get paid when their contracts come up. So like they didn't view him as like that tier of running back. They viewed him as the same tier of like an Eckler. So I'm not sure about if I would touch Melvin Gordon. I might, if Melvin Gordon for the name is going to go in like the third round and then you get Lindsey in like the fourth or fifth round, I think maybe I would take Lindsey in those later rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your draft strategy too. I mean, it depends.
But I
on
might
what
be
you like,
staying
though.
away from this backfield altogether just because I'm not sure I want to be playing. One week it's Lindsey, 1 week it's Gordon, and flip flopping back and forth. I'm going to try and stay away from that as much as I can. I'd rather take a running back from a team that is going to see like the workhorse or the more volume.
For sure,
for the season.
Yeah. I wouldn't aim to take any unless you just really think they're going to ball. But yeah, with these two, it's going to be like a 55-45, 50-50 split. I mean,
like lower RB2s for these guys, like mid-tier RB2s for these guys.
And then you always
on touchdown weeks,
and you always
if they're
have
not
those
scoring
people.
touchdowns. They're probably RB3s those weeks.
You have those people that like to take both running backs. Like people like to do that. Or take both guys from one team and just kind of ride them both out. So.
And we have to assume we're saying 55-45, which it probably will. That's assuming Royce Freeman isn't involved. Because if he is and it's 10%, now you got 55.
Or it'd be like 45,
Someone else
10.
do the math.
Right, we got it. We got it.
Figuring that
45,
math
45,
out.
10. No,
And
for
I mean,
sure.
just last year, Denver was 17.6 points per game, so that's basically a little over 2 touchdowns per game. So that's not a lot of touchdowns to go around for these running backs, especially if they're splitting and that offense doesn't get much better.
And I fear they might be like ball control to where they're not trying to like push the ball. They're more like trying to play defense and then milk the clock. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but they are in Colorado, so maybe he can run faster.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Luck. If they take a receiver though, I mean, Andrew Luck does have Drew Lock does have a cannon, so it's you never know. He can make that second year.
Which your boy Noah Fan over there too?
Say top 15, 16.
Noah Fan.
Well,
16.
Next year he should make that jump for sure. He look good.
It's just funny how you lost the bet by like 1, and then I lost the bet by like 1.
And not only that, if Drew Lock was there the whole year, he for sure would have been good. Yeah. Joe Flacco's a bum. That's why his ass ain't got no job.
All right, we'll stay on the tight end.
And he's got a ring too.
The tight end area right here. So
BRB Blazer.